Hey, it's Zoe again. This is another iteration for my toy for games and play. Uh, this iteration did not go so well, but that's okay. It's a part of the learning process. I just want to start out by saying I set something on fire and my entire apartment blew up with smoke. So definitely learned something in the creation process of this toy. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that I learned in this iteration is efficient construction. And to not set your apartment on fire when you're making this game. Alright, so first I'm going to talk about how I've progressed and where I plan on going with my iterations. So first I started looking at my previous feedback from my original toy. I heard make the magical item a little bit more magical, make more toys, maybe add some resin to it so the residue doesn't get on my fingers, which it doesn't really get on my fingers. It's just because I was painting these minutes before. But when you are using them, they don't leave a residue. But I still plan on adding a clear coat to it in the next class I attend, which I will be having help adding all of the coats. Alright, so we're going to do this again the same way I did it last time. We're going to have this camera lightly resting on my desk. And then I'm going to show you the new and improved toys. So here we are. You can see there's a ton more. Whole tray full. Currently have one drying, actually. Okay, so I've added a few new pieces to the collection. I've added some new Tauruses. I believe that these two are the new ones. I've added a ton more of the globes, the sphere shapes. And then I added a new shape, which is this lavender purple kind of ovular situation. So with these new pieces, they're going to be on the same level as the spheres. They're just very basic collectibles. I think usually with most collectible items, it's not just one basic standard piece. You usually have two that are, show up in your collection very often. So for this magical shape, the other shapes were not giving residue to my fingers when I picked them up, but this one was, because it was covered in a powder, and I found that really didn't work for me. The powder kind of clumped up, and it was more bronzy than sparkly, so I added some nail polish to it as like a stand-in kind of resin glitter situation, and it actually does not wipe off anymore. And that was a really big problem I was having, so I'm glad I have that fixed. So an issue I ran into for this iteration was in the construction process, like I mentioned in the beginning. So these are actually little clay pieces. This clay cures in an oven, so it will only become very hard once it's been put in an oven for a certain amount of time at a certain heat. I tried riffing off of that and kind of going my own way because I didn't like how soft the other pieces were, by putting it really hot in a toaster oven, and that ended up setting on fire. So I learned a lot from that. Definitely next time I will try to use a lower heat and put them in for a lower amount of time. Maybe not in the toaster oven. I don't think the toaster oven is good for that. But yeah, so my next step after this would be adding the resin so that the pieces are softer. You don't get any amount of paint that would come off, won't. And they'll have a nice sheen to them. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you like my toy. See you in the next iteration.